Hi and welcome to another video for Year 7 Maths under the chapter Ratio, Rate and Time. So today you are going to do subtopic rates. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to know how to interpret rates. Now here, let's proceed forward. Okay, a rate. What do you mean by rate over here? A rate is a comparison of two quantities, but they have to be different kind. And usually it will be expressed as one quantity per unit of another quantity. But I will explain later what does this mean. And also, rate is used to describe how a quantity change with time. Okay, so here, for example, here, when you have a car and it traveled 70 kilometer in 1 hour, so how are you going to tell the rate? So the rate of distance travel here is 70 kilometer, which is the distance, per hour. So per here means per 1 hour, right? So let's proceed to another example here. A lorry consumes 1 liter of petrol for every 8 kilometer it travels. So the rate of the petrol consumption here. So let's express this in terms of this one quantity per unit of another quantity. So the first quantity here, you are going to use 8 kilometer, right? And per, because here 1 liter is already expressed as per unit, so you just have to put liter. So 8 kilometer per liter. And next one, Sandra can type 50 words in 1 minute. Can you guess now what's the rate for this one? So the rate for Sandra's writing is 50 words per minute. There you have it. So the side note over here, I already explained just about the same. The second quantity is often expressed as a unit value, right? So let's move on to example number 1. So example number 1 here, if Zainal types 1,800 words in 30 minutes, what is his typing rate in words per minute? So here you are already given, clue about the rate that you're going to use. So what you're going to do is typing rate. It's going to be word per minute, so 1,800 words, right, per 30 minutes. But here you have to make sure that the second quantity must be in units, so you have to simplify this until you get quantity over 1. So 180 divided by 3 should be 60. So your answer will be 60 words per minute. So that's for the first one. Okay, right, so let's move on to the next example. Maya is paid 1,200 for working at a restaurant. Okay, let's have a look at the units that you have given here. 8 hours a day and then 5 days a week for 3 weeks, right? So let's calculate the weekly rate now. Here you have to first look at the amount that is paid, which is 1,200, and for how many weeks. So here she is working for 3 weeks, so the weekly rate should be 1,200 over 3 weeks. So here you have to make sure the second quantity is equal to 1, so you have to divide the fraction both numerator and denominator by 3. So 1,200 divided by 3 is 400. So her weekly rate will be $400 per week. Okay, so that's for part A. Now let's have a look at part B, daily rate. So daily rate here, it means per day. So here you have to find out what is the statement for the days. So she worked for 5 days a week, and we know that for a week she is paid 400. So you have to use $400 because she is paid for a week by $400. So 400 divided by 5 days, right? So here you have to cancel you have to divide everything by 5. So you have the rate, the daily rate that she will be paid is $80 per day. Okay, so that's for part B. And for part C, it's going to be hourly rate. So hourly rate over here. So let's check within a day. She works for 8 hours, sorry. So here we have to use the daily rate before. So your next one will be $80 divided by how many hours she worked for a day? 8 hours, right? So cancel this, simplify, and in the end, you will know that she is paid for $10 per hour, right? So that's for example number 2. Now let's have a look at the next one. Okay, example number 3 for next page. Okay, the rates for taxi fare are shown below. $3 for the first kilometer, and the second statement is 20 cents for each subsequent kilometer. So what do you mean by subsequent kilometer? Subsequent means what happens after the following kilometer. So here note that it will be useful to draw a journey line to solve this problem. Carl traveled by taxi for 15 kilometers. So your question is to calculate his taxi fare. So let's draw a journey line over here. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's say 0 is the first starting and 15 kilometer, because here he traveled for 15 kilometer. Now let's label the first kilometer. The first kilometer here, he will have to pay $3. Now let's have a look at over here. For each subsequent kilometer after the first kilometer, he will have to pay for 20 cents. So here, from 1 kilometer to 15 kilometer, the difference is 14 kilometer. So for this 14 kilometer, each kilometer he will be charged by 20 cents. So here, to find out the next one, will be 20 cents times 14, because he traveled for 14 kilometer. So therefore, taxi fare for him is $3 plus, let me just tell you that 20 cents times 14 will result in $2.80. So therefore, the total that he has to pay is $5.80. So as here, I have shown that this will help you to understand the problem better, because here sometimes students get confused after they have to calculate for the first kilometer and for the subsequent kilometer, right? Now let's have a look at the final example over here. Example number 4, the table shows the number of units of water, electricity, and gas that Harris used in a month. So here you have water and electricity and gas, and you are told mainly the units over here, and the rate for each unit is, for example, water $1.17 per unit, for electricity 0.2049, and for gas is 0.1691 per unit. Okay, so here what was the total cost of utilities? So you have to somehow find the total of the costs by multiplying this, because you already know that 1 unit is $1.17 for water. So for 40 units, you have to multiply, and you will do the same for the others, right? So let's have a look one by one. Okay, so over here, let's have a look at water first. Water is 40 times $1.17. So if you use a calculator, you will get $46.80, right? So that's for water. For electricity, same thing. You have to multiply the units with the rate per unit. So here, $0.2049, and you will have $40.98. And lastly, for gas, you have to multiply the unit with the rate per unit, which is 0.1691. So the total that you will have here for gas is $50.73. Therefore, the total cost of utility, you have to add everything up. So $46.80 plus $40.98 plus $50.73 will give you $1.38.51. So it's kind of simple because here you are given the rate per unit. So I think that's it for this topic. I hope that you can understand the concept of rate. Thank you very much and see you again.